Close your eyes for a moment. See yourself already living the life you desire. Feel the joy of having it, the relief, the excitement, the deep knowing that it is yours. Now, open your eyes and understand this truth. What you just experienced is real. The world you touch is merely the shadow of your inner convictions. There is no difference between a small desire and a grand one, except for the limitations you place upon yourself. The same law that manifests a cup of coffee can manifest wealth, love, or a completely transformed life. The key is your certainty. You must step into the wish fulfilled not as a visitor but as a resident. Do not beg, do not chase, do not question. The moment you enter the state of having, the world bends to reflect it. The unseen forces move, events shift, and what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. The longer you dwell in doubt, the longer you postpone your own blessings. So live in the knowing, rest in the fulfillment, let no fear shake you, for what you have assumed in consciousness must be made flesh. The big things are not far. They are here now, waiting for you to claim them. Your imagination is not just a fleeting daydream or a collection of random thoughts. It is the very blueprint of your reality. Everything you have ever experienced, whether good or bad, has been shaped by the visions you have held within. Your mind is the creator, the architect, the unseen force that gives birth to the visible. There is no external power deciding your fate. You are the one directing the show, whether consciously or unconsciously. When you truly grasp this, you realize that there are no limits except those you impose upon yourself. The size of your vision determines the size of your manifestation. If you dare to dream small, you will receive small. But if you have the courage to see beyond your current circumstances, to embrace the grandest possibilities, then life has no choice but to reflect that back to you. Most people believe that reality is something fixed, something that exists independently of their thoughts. They think they are bound by circumstances, by what the world tells them is possible. But this is an illusion. The world you see is simply a mirror responding to the assumptions and beliefs you carry deep within. If you believe in lack, you will see lack everywhere. If you believe in abundance, doors will open in ways you never expected. Everything that has ever been created by humanity began first as an image in someone's mind. The great cities, the towering skyscrapers, the technological advancements, all of them were once unseen, existing only in the imagination of those who dared to believe they could bring them forth. They did not see obstacles, they saw possibilities. They did not dwell on how difficult or impossible something might seem. Instead, they persisted in their vision until the invisible became visible. This same principle applies to you. The life you desire already exists within you, waiting to be realized. But it cannot manifest if you allow doubt, fear, and hesitation to cloud your vision. The key is to see yourself as already living in the reality you want, to feel it as real before the world shows you any evidence. Your imagination must become more real to you than your current circumstances. Do not let the world tell you what is possible. If you listen to the voices of limitation, you will always remain bound by them. Instead, turn inward. Create a world within your mind so vivid, so complete, that it feels more real than anything outside of you. This is not wishful thinking. It is the very process by which all things are brought into existence. The bigger your vision, the stronger your conviction must be. There will be moments when the outer world tries to convince you that your desires are unrealistic, that what you seek is too far beyond reach. But understand this, the world is simply reflecting back to you the level of faith you hold. If you allow doubt to creep in, if you waver in your assumption, then the reflection will show instability, delays, and obstacles. But if you remain steadfast, if you refuse to accept anything less than the fulfillment of your vision, then the world must conform. It has no choice. Nothing is too big for you. The same force that brings the smallest desires into being is the same force that manifests the greatest. It does not require more effort, only more belief. The moment you step into a state of certainty, the moment you refuse to entertain any other possibility, reality must rearrange itself to match. This is the law, and it is unbreakable. So dare to dream beyond what you have known. Expand your vision beyond your current circumstances. Do not concern yourself with how or when. Simply know that what you imagine with conviction must take form. See it, feel it, believe in it, because your imagination is the seed from which all things grow. And when you embrace this truth, you will understand that you have always held the power to create your world exactly as you desire. The secret to manifesting what you desire lies not in hoping, wishing, or longing for it, but in assuming the feeling that it is already yours. This is where most people struggle. They look at their external reality and allow it to dictate what they believe is possible. They see the absence of what they want, and in doing so they continue to affirm its absence. But the law is simple. You do not receive what you merely want, you receive what you believe you already have. The moment you place something in the realm of someday, or I hope this happens, you have unknowingly pushed it further away. You have placed yourself in a state of waiting rather than receiving. Hope implies uncertainty, and uncertainty creates delay. To bring your desire into form, you must shift from wanting to knowing, from waiting to living in the fulfillment of it now. The speed at which you manifest is directly tied to how deeply you can embody the feeling of already having it. Think of it this way: when you know something is already yours, you no longer question it. If you have a home, you do not wake up every morning wondering if you own a home. You do not check constantly to make sure it is still there. You simply live in the reality of having it. This is the level of certainty you must bring to your desires. You must assume, with every fiber of your being, that it is already done. Your imagination is your greatest tool. Close your eyes and step into the reality where your desire is already fulfilled. How does it feel? How do you walk, speak, and carry yourself knowing that you already have what you once longed for? Pay attention to that feeling, because that feeling is the bridge that connects your inner world to the physical world. It is the signal you send out, and the universe has no choice but to match it. Doubt is the only thing that can slow down this process. If you allow yourself to wonder when or how it will happen, you have stepped out of the feeling of fulfillment and into the feeling of lack. You must discipline your mind to stay in the assumption that it is already done. If you persist in this state, you will notice that life begins to shift. Circumstances will rearrange themselves. Opportunities will present themselves in ways you could not have planned. It is not magic, it is law. Most people believe they need to take extreme action to make things happen, but action taken from a state of desperation often leads to more struggle. The most powerful action you can take is internal. When you align yourself with the feeling of already having what you want, inspired actions will flow naturally. You will feel compelled to move in ways that are effortless, and things will unfold with ease. There is no need to force, beg, or chase. The moment you feel something as real within you, it becomes real in the unseen world, and it is only a matter of time before it materializes. Your job is not to make it happen, but to allow it to unfold by staying faithful to your assumption. You do this by returning to the feeling again and again until it becomes second nature. Think of anything in your life that came to you effortlessly. You did not struggle for it because at some level you already believed it was possible for you. The same principle applies to everything: money, relationships, success, health. The universe does not discriminate between small and big. It simply mirrors back your dominant state of being. So stop waiting, stop longing, feel it now, and trust that the world will align with your conviction. It is already done. Time is not what it appears to be. The belief in waiting, in delays, in the idea that something must take years to manifest, is one of the greatest illusions that keeps people trapped in limitation. What you desire already exists. It is not something far away, not something you must struggle toward. The only thing that separates you from it is your state of consciousness. When you understand this, you stop waiting and start aligning. Most people believe that time is linear, that they must move step by step toward their goals. They think in terms of one day or someday, believing that their desires are in the future. But the truth is, the future does not exist separate from you. It is simply a state of being, a frequency that you can step into at any moment. The version of you who already has what you desire is not in some distant future. It is here, now, waiting for you to assume its reality. Think of time like a vast ocean, not a straight path. Every possibility exists simultaneously, just as every drop of water already exists within the ocean. Your desire is already real. You do not need to create it. You only need to shift your awareness to it. This shift is not something that happens gradually over time. It happens in an instant, the moment you accept it as true. The reason people experience delays is not because their manifestation is far away, but because they believe it is. They remain in a state of longing, of waiting, of feeling separate from their desire, and so reality mirrors that separation. If you believe something is in the future, it will always remain there. The key is to dissolve this illusion by stepping into the state of already having it. Ask yourself, if your desire were already fulfilled, how would you feel? How would you think, act, and move through life? If you truly knew it was already done, there would be no more worry, no more questioning, no more looking for signs. You would feel at peace, at ease, knowing that it is yours. That feeling is what collapses time. That feeling is what brings the unseen into the seen. This is why some people manifest effortlessly while others struggle for years. It is not about luck or chance. It is about alignment. Those who understand that time is an illusion do not wait, they assume. They claim their desires now, and because they live in that state, the physical world adjusts to match. You must begin to see yourself as already possessing what you seek. You must move through life as though your desire is not something you are chasing, but something you are already living. This does not mean pretending or forcing belief. It means feeling the truth of it so deeply that the outside world no longer dictates your inner state. Most people make the mistake of looking to the world for confirmation. They think, I will believe it when I see it. But this is backward. The world is a reflection, and a reflection cannot change until the original image does. You must believe it first. Without needing proof, you must step into the knowing that your desire exists now, and in doing so, time dissolves. This is how you shift realities, not by waiting, not by hoping, but by stepping into the version of yourself who already has what you seek. The moment you do this, you will notice that opportunities arise, circumstances change, and things unfold in ways you never could have planned. It is not because time moved faster, it is because you did. You moved into a new state of being, and reality had no choice but to follow. So let go of the illusion of time. Stop waiting. Your desire is not ahead of you, it is here. Align with it, embody it, and watch as the world reshapes itself around you. One of the greatest barriers to manifestation is the mind's obsession with how things will happen. It is a habit deeply ingrained in most people. The need to analyze, control, and predict every step. They look at their current circumstances and try to figure out how their desire can possibly materialize. They ask, what actions should I take? Who do I need to talk to? What steps should I follow? And when they don't see an obvious way forward, they begin to doubt. But the truth is, the how is never your concern. The unseen forces of life are already working, rearranging circumstances, shifting people, and aligning opportunities in ways beyond your comprehension. The more you try to control it, the more you block it. You must learn to let go, to trust, and to allow things to unfold in their perfect sequence. Consider this. When you plant a seed in the ground, do you dig it up every day to see if it is growing? No. You trust that nature knows what to do. You water it, give it sunlight, and allow time to work its magic. You don't question whether the roots are forming, whether the process is working. You simply know that in due time the seed will sprout. The same principle applies to manifestation. When you set an intention and fully accept that it is already done, the universe begins to orchestrate the detail. But the mind, conditioned to control, often resists this. It wants to see proof. It wants to map out every step, every connection, every detail. And when it cannot, fear creeps in. What if this doesn't work? What if I'm wasting my time? These doubts create resistance, and resistance slows everything down. The fastest way to manifest is to let go. This does not mean doing nothing. It means releasing attachment to the process. Your job is not to figure out how things will happen. Your job is to embody the state of already having it, to feel the certainty, the gratitude, the knowing that it is done. When you do this, you create space for life to move effortlessly. Think about the times in your life when things seem to fall into place without effort. A job opportunity that came out of nowhere, a chance encounter that led to something great. These moments happened because you were not obsessing over them. You were in a state of flow, allowing life to work for you rather than against you. Now imagine if you applied this to everything. Imagine if you stopped worrying, stopped doubting, and instead lived as if your desire was already unfolding perfectly. Imagine the ease, the peace, the joy that would replace the anxiety of wondering how. This is the key to acceleration. The more you release control, the faster things move. The universe operates in ways you cannot see. It has infinite pathways, infinite connections, infinite possibilities to bring your desire to you. Your logical mind can only see a fraction of what is possible. So when you try to dictate how things must happen, you are limiting yourself. You are blocking the very forces that are trying to deliver what you seek. When you trust, when you let go, you allow the unseen forces to work in ways that seem miraculous. People you never expected show up to help. Events unfold in perfect timing. Situations shift effortlessly. But this can only happen if you step out of the way. So release the need to know. Trust that what is yours is already moving toward you. Instead of obsessing over the path, focus on the end. Feel the joy of already having it. Walk with the confidence that it is done. And then watch as life unfolds in ways beyond your imagination. There is a secret known by those who manifest effortlessly. A truth so powerful that it dissolves the gap between what is and what is yet to be. That secret is this: you must live from the end, not towards it, not hoping for it, not waiting on it, but from it. Most people believe they must first see their desire materialized before they can truly believe it. They think, once I have the money, then I will feel abundant. Once I meet the right person, then I will feel loved. Once I reach success, then I will feel confident. But this is backward. Reality is not something you chase. It is something you create from within. What you feel and embody now is what will be reflected back to you. Living from the end means assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It means walking, speaking, and thinking as though your desire is already yours. When you do this, you are no longer hoping or longing for something outside of you. You are the version of yourself who already has it. And when you hold that state unwaveringly, reality has no choice but to conform. Many struggle with this concept because they are conditioned to respond to their current circumstances. If they see lack, they feel lack. If they experience delay, they feel frustrated. But the world is only a mirror. It reflects what you accept as true. If you accept the feeling of already having what you desire, the world must shift to match it. Imagine for a moment that your wish is already fulfilled. How would you move through life? Would you still be doubting? Would you still be looking for signs? No. You would feel relaxed, secure, and certain. You would carry yourself differently. Your energy would change. Your thoughts would align with someone who knows it is done. This is not about pretending or forcing belief. It is about fully embodying the reality you wish to experience. The more natural this feeling becomes, the faster the physical world rearranges itself to match your inner state. Think of an actor who prepares for a role. They do not simply memorize lines. They become the character. They adopt the mannerisms, the emotions, the mindset. To them, it is no longer acting, it is reality. This is the same principle you must apply to manifestation. You must become the version of yourself who already has what you seek. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Living from the end also means speaking as if it is already true. Your words carry immense power. If you constantly speak of lack, struggle, or uncertainty, you reinforce those realities. Instead, speak from a place of fulfillment. Do not say, I hope to have this one day. Say, I am grateful that it is already mine. Do not say, I am trying to manifest. Say, it is done. Your thoughts too must align. Every time doubt arises, replace it with certainty. When your mind says, but I don't see it yet, remind yourself that the unseen precedes the seen. Just as a seed is growing beneath the soil before it becomes visible, your manifestation is unfolding even if you cannot yet see it. Your actions should also reflect the reality you wish to live. If you were already successful, how would you carry yourself? If you were already in love, how would you move through the world? Begin embodying these qualities now. When you align your mind, words, and actions with the end result, you create the conditions for it to materialize effortlessly. Most people hesitate because they are afraid to feel delusional. But the real delusion is believing that you must struggle, wait, or prove yourself before you can receive what is already yours. The truth is, everything exists now. The version of you who already has what you desire is not separate from you. It is simply a shift in consciousness away. Stop waiting. Step into the reality you wish to experience. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Speak it, think it, act as if it is done, and then watch as the barriers between the seen and unseen dissolve before your very eyes. There is only one thing that stands between you and your desire: doubt. Doubt is the only delay. It is not the size of your dream, nor the difficulty of the circumstances, nor the amount of action you take that determines when it manifests. It is your ability to persist in the state of fulfillment. Most people waver between belief and doubt. One moment they feel confident that their desire is coming to pass, and the next they look around, see no evidence, and begin to question. They ask, why isn't it here yet? What if this doesn't work? What if I'm just fooling myself? These thoughts create resistance. Every time you entertain doubt, you undo the work that has already begun. Manifestation is not a process of making something happen. It is a process of allowing what already exists in the unseen to take form. The only thing that can stop it is your own uncertainty. If you plant a seed and dig it up every day to check if it is growing, you disrupt its natural process. In the same way, constantly questioning whether your desire is coming blocks its arrival. To persist in the state of fulfillment means to live as if it is already done, no matter what your physical reality suggests. This requires an unshakable faith, a faith that does not rely on external proof, but on inner knowing. You must remain steadfast, trusting that what you have assumed is already set in motion. This is where most people fail. They allow their senses to dictate their belief. They look at their bank account, their job, their relationships, and if they do not see change, they assume nothing is happening. But the world does not work that way. The unseen always precedes the seen. Just as a tree grows long before it breaks through the soil, your manifestation is unfolding even when you cannot yet perceive it. The key is to hold the feeling of already having your desire, regardless of circumstances. If you truly believed it was already yours, would you still worry? Would you still check for signs? No. You will feel calm, knowing that its arrival is inevitable. This is the state you must dwell in, not just once, not just when it feels easy, but always. The mind will try to convince you otherwise. It will whisper doubts, bring up past failures, and tempt you to react to what you see, but you must discipline yourself. When doubt arises, do not entertain it. Instead, reaffirm your vision. Remind yourself that it is done. You would not order a package online and then wonder if it is really coming. You trust that it is on its way, even if you do not yet see it. Treat your manifestation the same way. The moment you assume it is yours, the universe begins working. Your only job is to stay in the state of already having it. This persistence is what separates those who manifest effortlessly from those who struggle. The ones who succeed are not special. They simply refuse to waver. They do not let appearances shake them. They do not let delays make them question. They remain loyal to their assumption until it solidifies into fact. If you can do this, if you can hold the state of fulfillment even in the face of doubt, then nothing is impossible for you. The world must conform to your assumption. Reality has no choice but to reflect the state you consistently occupy. Make your decision now. Will you persist, or will you let doubt steal your dream? Choose unwavering faith. Choose to stand firm in the conviction that your desire is already yours. Let nothing shake you. Stay faithful to the vision, and it must harden into fact. Everything you desire is already yours. The only thing required of you is the unwavering conviction that it is so. You must see it in your mind, feel it as real, and persist in that state, regardless of what your senses tell you. Time is an illusion. Your manifestation exists now, and the only task before you is to align with it. Let go of the need to control the how, and trust that unseen forces are rearranging everything in perfect order. Live from the end. Think, speak, and act as if your wish is already fulfilled. When doubt arises, dismiss it. When circumstances try to shake you, stand firm. Your assumption, when held with persistence, must become reality. This is the great secret. Reality conforms to the state you refuse to abandon. So choose your state wisely. Be unwavering in your vision and watch as the world bends to reflect your inner certainty. Thank you for listening.